Damn. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight, as per usual. Comet Moon. It's funny you mentioned ads. I was watching. What is that? Oh man, the movie on the TV show on Amazon. That's modeled after Jack Ryan. That's what it was. So anyway, watching Jack Ryan, and Amazon recently started putting ads in the middle of their TV shows now. I'm like, when the fuck did they start that shit? Yeah, so the ads are getting ridiculous on all of this shit. Every last streaming service, the ads are out of fucking control. Dan Phillips, Flown Grown, Ozark, Dobie, Lisa, Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5. Colleen, Water Tiger, Nostradamus, Patty, Dominique, Blackfoot, thank you for the 5x5. Loretta, Teddy Roosevelt, Adriana, Jeep Girl, Campus, I'm pretty sure I'm fucking that name up. Thank you for the 5x5. Beef and Chicken, Murder Lizard, am I reading that right? Thank you for the 5x5. Patty C, Minnie, thank you for the 5x5, guys. I'm deaf but alive. All right, guys, so thank you for it. So, tonight's video, or live stream, if you will, we're going to talk about something interesting that it was like an epiphany moment, or yeah, I guess it was like an epiphany, where I noticed a lot of shit that's going on around the world. And a couple of you guys in my last video where I talked about the migrants causing problems here in New York, a couple of you guys said that there are problems being started or caused by them in other countries. And I'm like, so of course I do the live stream, and I mean I started doing the research, and though we knew, or rather I knew, that a lot of this stuff was going on around the world, it's pretty bad everywhere else. All Seeing Cats, Raven, Henry, thank you for the 5x5. So it seems like YouTube is acting up. I just saw a glitch on my my iPad. So again, let me know if it's affecting your views as well. Is it a dance at a club? But anyway. Did I get a good stereo system yet? No, I didn't get a good stereo system. Why would I? But anyway. And no, I didn't see. When did Biden address the nation? Was it yesterday or was it today? Tonight? Either way, I didn't see it. Nor do I care. I did see him talking about blaming Trump for the migrant crisis. I saw that. I thought that was very, very interesting. Not surprising at all. Not surprising that he's blaming Trump. He blamed Trump for something else, too. Something else happened, and I was like, that's interesting. You know, it seems like that's the tactic of his... Ozark said the video dropped, but I restarted it. Yeah, okay. So obviously it's going to be an issue tonight. Whatever. It is what it is. Justice. I didn't see the Butler County Sheriff's address. Is he on here? Prepper Revelator told me about it. He told me about the sheriff's address and what was going to happen. And I still didn't get a chance to listen to the video that was sent to me earlier today, I think it was. But anyway, listen, guys, anything that happens next is not a surprise. I think that the chaos that's being created around the world is for a giant distraction of the world. I do have this feeling, again, this like reoccurring or ongoing feeling that something big is coming. And I think all of these things that we are seeing are nothing but a distraction. And it's a distraction, and it's also going to add to that, whatever that event is, whatever that big thing that might happen, it's going to add to it as well. With migrants being shipped all over the world, it's almost impossible to ignore the fact that this is being done on purpose. These guys are showing up all over the world, wherever they are, in vehicles and boats. The boats are the bigger issue, because some of the boats they're showing up in are pretty snazzy looking boats for migrants. Though they're low, not low level, but they're like older boats, but still they're kind of snazzy. And they're showing up all over the place. And that's everywhere around the world. they're running into. So, like for example, they're migrants, which I don't understand this. They're migrants coming down from Canada into the United States. Well, if you're looking for a better life, Canada is also that. But they're flying somehow from South Central America over the United States into Canada to come back down to the border. Well, if you are looking for a better life, Canada is, when you compare to the countries they came from, a lot better. So why would you leave Canada to come into the United States? Because it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the invasion plan, and the invasion plan is a Trojan horse being told to us by way of, oh, these people have a bad life, they're having it hard. We should play the woe is me card for them. Oh my God, there's civil war in that country. There's a drug war. There's a coup. We have to have these people come here. And that's the Trojan horse, the excuse that they're using to play on the heartstrings of the morons of the world who believe in this bullshit. That's where it all lies. Now, the migrant problem, again, guys, it's all over the world. It's not just here in the United States. Some would believe that the United States is pretty worse off, but Italy right now, or there's an island off of Italy that's getting their asses handed to them. In fact, in such a way that, if I'm not mistaken, the island of, I can't pronounce it, but I'm going to try. The island of, is it called Lampedusa? I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. They are overrun and taken over by West Africans. Majority of them are from Egypt, but they're from West Africa as a whole. And this place is getting their asses handed to them. I mean, I've never seen the amount of numbers of people showing up on an island, and Italy's trying their best right now to stop them. They're trying to start a blockade, and this was back in September, so I don't know if they accomplished that blockade or not. But there's a lot of weird shit going on in Europe right now with the migrants, and everybody is, well, not that we need to focus on it. We need to focus on our migrant problem here in the United States, but it's seemingly, guys, that this is being set off all over the world. Now, other countries, especially a lot of African nations, they've had people leaving other countries to come into the safe zone because of civil war or the family war, the tribal wars that they still have there. That's why a lot of people were leaving a lot of those countries. But we're seeing the same problem. Well, not the same problem. We're seeing the same, the same problem with people leaving the country because of various things going on. Now, again, guys, a lot of this shit, like the civil wars, you got terrorist insurgency, you got drug wars, you got all of these things going on, ethnic violence, which is a lot of the places a lot of that is happening in Africa. We're going to go over a little later tonight. We're going to go over the list of countries that have conflicts that are running people out. Now, I think you should stay and fight. But for whatever reason, these people are finding their way here to the United States. In fact, West Africans are not only going to Italy and that island off of Italy, but they're also flying over here, flying over to Central South America, and then making their trek up into the United States. It seems like, guys, it's a worldwide invasion disguised as migration from whatever bullshit's happening in their region of the world. It all sounds like BS. Nonetheless, it's a problem we are all going to have to deal with personally and business-wise and emotionally at some parts, because these people are coming here and they're just creating problems. No matter where they're landing, they're creating problems. They couldn't solve the problem in their country, so they came to various other countries to start their bullshit. Instead of like trying to assimilate when they got there, or trying to, just trying to fit in. And maybe not just assimilate completely, but just try to fit in, or keep your mouth shut and hide off to the side somewhere. Nope. They're creating problems by bringing their crime and their bullshit along with them. Yeah, and it's funny, man. It's just amazing the bullshit that's going on and the amount of crap that they're trying to disguise. And then, and then now the Biden administration, they're sitting there talking about, well, it's Trump's fault. how in the fuck is it Trump's fault? I watched a guy, not watch, I was talking to a guy. We were talking about the arm ticket, or I was talking about the arm ticket, and I was blaming the arm ticket for the amount of sudden deaths that we're watching, right? Watching all of these people die left and right. And this guy went out there and blamed Trump because he deregulated the food industry, and that's why so many people are passing away suddenly. And I go, bullshit. The food industry was always deregulated. He didn't make it any worse or any better. The amount of shit that they put in our food has been outlawed in other countries for over a decade. In some places, over 20 years. A lot of the chemicals in our food have been outlawed. A lot of countries like Japan have just recently started outlawing more shit. So anyway, he went ahead and he blamed Trump for all of that. I'm like, how are you going to blame Trump for this? Well, he deregulated food. Our food system has been screwed up for decades. And they continue to sit there and feed us the toxic chemicals that are causing a lot of ailments, including obesity, cancer, and heart disease. But instead, we continue to operate and go to McDonald's. Go to all of these places that have chemicals in their food when there shouldn't be chemicals in the food. French fries, for example. I just learned this the other day. McDonald's ingredients for French fries are not just potatoes, salt, and that's it. No, it's potatoes and a bunch of other chemicals to give the French fry the famous look that it has, the golden brown look. The golden brown look are from a couple of chemicals that are sprayed onto it before it's actually fried. Their salt has chemicals inside it as well. Instead, when it only should be potatoes, salt, and some grease. Anyway, with that being said, guys, we're definitely being distracted with shit all the way around. And something big is coming. Maybe, guys, the food, the chemicals in the food is being triggered by the arm ticket. So I hope a lot of you remember Batman with Michael Keaton when the Joker put like the Joker compound chemicals in different products, and it was different products that were being used that started that reaction of the smile. I think this is something similar. I think that a lot of the chemicals in the food are being triggered or triggering either the arm ticket or the arm ticket's triggering it, and that's why so many people are passing away. Or it could just be the arm ticket by itself. There's so many variables of things that it could be, it's hard to nail which one it is. And nobody's really going to entertain that study, though there are a couple of medical countries, Jesus Christ. There are a couple of countries that are going to entertain it and start doing the research. Yeah, that's a big fucking problem. So, it could be anything, guys, right? But back to the whole story. The story is the guy blamed Trump for this. And I'm like, wait, what? So Trump's responsible for... Granted, Trump is responsible for the arm ticket. That he can't escape. But the deregulation of food, the deregulation of the environmental controls, something or another, they're blaming all of that on him. Meanwhile, let's not forget what Biden has started and what he's done, which he's done zero for the country. He made matter worse. Oh, someone also blamed Trump for letting his Wall Street friends get away with some kind of fucking regulation that he got them off the hook or he stopped. I'm like, financial regulation, something with the stock market. And I'm like, again, who gives a fuck? We got migrants in this country robbing, stealing, beating, prostitution, all kinds of shit, and you're worried about some deregulation bullshit that he can probably either switch back or can be switched back by another president. We got a problem that we are entering a point with this illegal immigrant crisis that is going to get to a point of no return. We're not going to be able to turn around and fix the problem. That's where we're entering. But yet, everybody's focused on Trump and bullshit. And again, guys, you know how I feel about Trump. I'm not a big fan of the man. But nonetheless, the closer we get to election, the better that choice looks. It's simple. Listen, I was listening to, I think it was 3 rappers. I know one of them was T.I., who's a Biden supporter. And no matter what Biden does, T.I. will always be on the side. But the other 2 guys who were against Trump now switched back over, not switched back over, but switched over to voting for Trump. So many people are leaving the Biden camp and coming over to the Trump camp because they had to admit, Trump did X, Y, and Z. He did some shit you didn't like. He did a lot of shit you liked, or vice versa. Nonetheless, he did more for the country than any other president in the last, 20 years. Maybe not that far back, but you get my point. And so you got fucking Democrats that are like, yo, we can't have this man go back in office again. We're going to have to vote for Trump. And again, I'm not a big fan of the man, but he is the only option right now. All of the other junior assholes that are out there trying to, fight for a position, they're not fighting to run in the presidential election. They're fighting to run as vice president with Trump. At least the Republican side, that is. Trump's going to have a couple knuckleheads run against him, and none of them are going to win. But Biden's out. There's no way Biden can win this election unless something egregious happens again. That's the only way. And even if they pull it off again, somebody said it one time or a couple times on the chat here that even if it is taken again, no one's going to do anything about it. Sadly enough, I have to agree, rather, that nothing's going to be done. I think that even if this is taken again, I don't think we're going to react to it. Calico 45. I wasn't listening to rappers. It was a talk show that they had, and it was on Instagram. I was watching it on Instagram, and it was just that clip that they were talking about. It was sort of like a podcast style talk show, and the two guys are like, "Yo, we're gonna have to vote for Trump. We don't have a choice." And then T.I. was like, "Well, Biden, he's done good for this country." And the two other guys looked at T.I. like, "Are you fucking crazy? What is fucking wrong with you?" That's the look they gave him. And the other guy goes, "Are you serious?" And that's where the conversation ended. And then T.I. looked at them and he tried to start walking it back, but it was too late. He let the fucking cat out of the bag. So also, I have to mention, a lot of guys at my job are excited at the fact that Trump might be holding a rally in the Bronx. That's going to be some good shit because all I can see is fists and shoes and fucking avocados being thrown at people at the Trump rally in the Bronx. Hopefully it's the South Bronx if he does hold it. Nonetheless, if he holds a rally in the Bronx, I'm there. If he holds one in Madison Square Garden, I'm going to go at least be outside to listen to the crying Democrats and the liberals. And definitely, if it's in the South Bronx, I'm definitely going to that. That's going to be a fucking shit show for sure. But T.I. is ignorant. T.I. is stupid. T.I. is not a smart man. I mean, T.I. is smart, but he's not like, when it comes to politics, he's not that smart. Right? Riots and fights? Oh yeah, man. All kinds of shit can be thrown in. I'm gonna make sure I bring some avocados too to start fucking throwing them at the other side. Why are you throwing avocados at people? Because. Why not? They fucking sting. Of course. But they already had it in the sub points. Bugs, when did they have it? Because it was 2 days ago that he announced it, and he said he might do it, not that he was going to do it. But if he does, I'm going to be there. Because I looked it up. When is it? And he hasn't set a date yet. And Adriana says, if it goes to Madison Square Garden, she'll go. I'm like, yeah, listen, we got to go. They already had it in the cell phone. Maybe they had it years ago, but they didn't have it recently. Unless we missed it. Avocado's expensive everywhere you go. So, yeah, go figure. T.I. sold out for the paycheck. A lot of people sell out for the paycheck. I love avocado and Tabasco sauce. That's not a bad one, Falcon. Start whipping around Tabasco sauce and it lands in people's eyes at the protest and they start screaming, ah, and they start crying around. Then you throw the avocado on the ground so that they slip on the avocado. That's a good tactic. I like it. But anyway, it's back to the whole thing, guys. Trump's going to be blamed for everything right now. If two jets collide in the sky, it's going to be Trump's fault. if there are more, and I hope you guys are paying attention to a lot of the what you call it, that's being recalled. A lot of food, guys, is being recalled within the last 2-3 weeks. Different food and dog food have been recalled because of various contaminants in the food. I find that to be very peculiar, but whatever. I don't want to go down that road of I want to go down conspiracy theory road. Going to Madison Square is the dumbest thing to do, is trapping yourself in chaos. Calico, if I'm saying that right, I don't care. I'm going to the rally. I will trap myself around those people. Don't give a shit. And I'm usually good about standing in certain areas when it's crowds like that. And I don't often get myself in the crowds, except for J6. When I was in the middle of that crowd, I knew I was in a bad spot. That was the one time I was standing in the crowd. I was like, shit, this is a bad spot. If this shit goes sideways, I'm fucked because there's nowhere I can go. I'm going to get trampled on, or I'm going to trample over somebody. So that was a bad spot to be in. I sort of did it again when I did the New Year's Eve live stream downtown. I ended up in a bad spot there as well. So, but I'm pretty good at staying off to the side and not getting in the middle of the shit. Spam was found in dog food? Okay, no, that's not true. So the person speaking tonight confused Mexico and Egypt. Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did. But we do need an anti-Vespa militia because we got to start kicking these kids over. Yo, I mean the amount of crime going on, and we're going to talk about that later tonight on the Angry Truth. We're going to talk about the money grab and the free credit card and how that's going to affect New Yorkers to a point, guys, where it can collapse the financial system of New York City, causing layoffs and fucking with pensions. We're going to talk about that a little later tonight, and the crime that's going along with the nonsense that's happening here in the city. There's more shit going down that I didn't speak about last Tuesday that I'm going to speak about tonight on the Angry Truth channel. That's around 10:10, but I'll probably start it at 10:05, a little earlier, or right at 10 o'clock when I end this. Milk bone dog biscuits taste alright. Yeah, if you can handle the milk bones, yeah, eat them, man. Have fun. Clean your teeth. I heard Biden was in New York, but I normally don't give a shit, so I didn't pay attention to it. Calico, thank you. Appreciate it. Calico makes garbage ass guns. I don't know anything about that. I thought the Calicos were like the shit when they first came out, but everybody's like, those are shit guns. And I'm like, really? Again, not a real gun guy. But definitely will be getting into it when I fucking... Thank you for the donation, Kaya. Thank you for the donation, and there was another one earlier. I think there was another one earlier. Or maybe that was the first one. Yeah, that was the first. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it as always, guys. Anyway, so let's get on with the show. So we're going to talk about the migrant crisis in other parts of the world. We're going to talk about Spain right now. Spanish migrant crisis escalates as over 1,000 migrants reached Canary Island in 3 days. This is back in 2023. Spain's Interior Ministry reported a recorded 55,000 migrants arrival by boat in 2023. More than 1,000 migrants from sub-Saharan countries arrived in Spain's Canary Island in 18 boats over the past 3 days. Like, whatever. Flipping boats or sinking them. I mean, and granted, guys, we all talk shit, but sinking them is not the option because now you're, you know, as much as I want, if I was an Italian prime minister, I would absolutely want to fucking sink these boats, but you can't because it's the wrong thing to do. But what you could do is capture them, put them back on a fucking boat, a missile, shove them all in a missile, and shoot them back over to fucking West Africa somewhere. And hopefully it doesn't explode. Anyway. More than 1,000 migrants a surge in migrants Arrival in the archipelago off northwest Africa has been notable in recent weeks, with 7,200 migrants arriving in January alone of this year. Spain's Interior Ministry reported a record 55,000 migrants arrival by boat in 2023, nearly double the previous year. More than 1,000 migrants from and one body was found dead in the boat, in one of the boats. Probably died from some bullshit on the way there, dehydration, whatever it was. I can't pronounce this. I'm going to try. Archipelago, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, off of Northwest Africa, has seen a surge in migrants' arrival in recent weeks as more people from West Africa attempt the dangerous journey. Officials say 7,200 migrants arrived in January, about as many in the first 6 weeks of 2023. Most of the boats departed from Mauritania. I can't pronounce this. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen will visit the West African country on Thursday to encourage authorities to try to curtail the departures. You're seeing that a lot. You're seeing a lot of politicians meet with heads of states in those countries and try to have them stay there. Like, yo, tell your fucking Negroes to stay in that country or do something about keeping them there. That's me translating. Albania. Now, I thought this was interesting. Albania court greenlights migrant deal with Italy. Albania's constitutional court has approved a controversial agreement to send asylum seekers in Italy to Albania. Why would they fucking do that? There's got to be some sweet deal for them to be like, for Albania to be like, you know what? Give us your asylum seekers. Give us your illegal immigrants. I don't understand why they would make that deal. But anyway, under the agreement, the Italian government will build two centers in North Albania to process 36,000 people hoping to reach Italy next year. I think they're just holding them there. Kaya, thank you for the donation yet again. Appreciate it. Migrants don't have firearm expenses like Americans. No, they don't. But they'll be getting firearms. I can guarantee you that. The deal will now have to be ratified by the Albanian parliament. However, it's likely to pass easily as Prime Minister Edi Rama holds a meeting. Whatever. Under the agreement, some 3,000 people a month who attempt to reach Italy by sea would be detained in two processing centers near the Albanian northern eastern part of Shëngjin, while their asylum claims are examined. So they're developing a process center to put these people there. But again, why would Albania agree to that? There's got to be a better deal in here somewhere, but I didn't read it yet. Once migrant asylum claims have been assessed, Italy would be responsible for either resettling them from the centers to Italy or deporting them back to Africa, West Africa, somewhere. Security personnel and police officers will be provided by Albania. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Mr. Rama first presented the deal in Rome in November. Soon after, the agreement was temporarily blocked after the Albanian opposition filed two petitions arguing that the agreement would deny the asylum seekers the protection, the Constitution, and international law. Sounds like bullshit. Gary Austin, man, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. So again, I don't understand why they would do that, but whatever. Now, migrant crimes, guys, is running rampant in other countries. It's running rampant in Italy. It's running rampant in the UK. Ireland's having a problem with them. I think France is also having a problem with this migrant. Now, France, Italy, Ireland, and the UK, they've been having problems with migrants for years. The recent influx of migrants all over the world, guys, it's what's alarming. All of a sudden, the numbers doubled and or tripled from one year to the next. How's that even possible? Why is that even possible? Why are all the numbers doubling or tripling from last year or 2 years ago? There's something to be said about an invasion and people not calling it that. And the fact that Italy is assessing each migrant to see whether or not they're going to put them up in Italy or ship them back, they should just ship them back. They should just tell them, yo, our borders are closed, we're sending you back. And if you guys keep coming over here in your rubber tubes, we're going to sink them. Again, not that sinking them's the option, because then you got to deal with fucking, little dead African bodies all over the fucking shore of Italy. I understand that people want a better life, but these countries, including the United States, cannot be the lifeboat of the world. We cannot sit there, guys, and take on everybody because of their bleeding heart bullshit, because they're playing the woe is me. Aaron Cardoza, I do not have a P.O. box. I keep saying I'm going to get one, and I never get around to it. But I'm eventually going to get a P.O. box. Well, Jason, who's paying to move all these people? The Italian people are. The Italian tax dollars, right? If they have taxes. I'm not sure. But the Italian tax dollars are paying. The people are going to pay for it one way or the other, guys. New Yorkers are going to pay for this Frio credit card business one way or the other. Some people are already paying with their bodies, like that lady that got dragged across the street and knocked into a pole. People who are getting robbed for their phones, right? And again, we're going to talk about tonight on the Angry Truth what they're doing with the phones and what bigger issues are happening with the phones that not that they're not talking about, but they're not mentioning it as much. Again, we're talking about that on the Angry Truth tonight. Italy arrested 14 after unrest at a migrant detention center. Italian police said on Monday they had arrested 14 people after disorder broke out at a detention center for migrants near Rome following the suicide of a young man being held there. 2 police officers and a soldier were injured in the melee on Sunday when inmates managed to force their way out into a parking lot, having set fires to mattresses and thrown other objects, police said. I like when they call them car parks. I'm like, yeah, they're called fucking parking lots, whatever. Officers fired tear gas at them. They struggled to regain control of the Pondier Galleria facility, holding center for undocumented migrants, which is close to the city's main airport of, man, I ain't fucking these names up tonight. I don't know. Let's just say Spumoni. Whatever. At an airport at Spumoni. Trouble was sparked after the discovery of a body of a 21-year-old man from Guinea who had taken his own life. Italian Coalition of Freedom and Civil Rights said migrants held in such centers were being denied access to proper health care and legal defense. So they killed themselves. I guess. I don't know if that's a viable option, but whatever. Italy has a tax rate to income. All right, thank you for that, Calico. Jason needs presents. I do need presents. Thank you. I'm pretty sure it's going to come in the form of can of spam. Police union complained that security was inadequate and they feared more serious consequences in the future. The repatriation centers are real time bombs, one of the officers, or the Secretary General of Moscow Police Officer Union dealing with the migrants stated. Some 157,000 boat migrants reached Italy last year. 157,000, boat migrants reached Italy last year, the largest number since 2016, undermining Meloni's electoral pledge to halt the flow of unauthorized arrivals. So now, Meloni, right? Meloni, if I'm not mistaken, I remember her campaign, if this is the same chick I'm thinking about, her campaign, she was talking about not letting more migrants in and dealing with the migrant situation. And then as soon as she got in the office, she was like, "Gotcha, bitches," and fucking went on the opposite direction and started not inviting them in, but dealing with them and housing them and putting them in Italy. And now there's too many to deal with, and they're sending them to Albania now. A lot of shit's going to happen. A lot of things are going to get lost in translation, but shipping people back and forth from Italy to Albania, from Albania to Italy, back to wherever the hell they came from. This is going to turn into a shit show, and it's their problem. 7,000 people arrived on Italy's island of 6,000 as migrant crisis overwhelmed, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to say this wrong, Lampedusa. Lampedusa has seen an influx of migrants with 7,000 people arriving in 2 days, prompting the mayor and the United Nations Refuge Agency to warn Italian islands is becoming overwhelmed. Again, guys, as you can see, this is not just an American problem. This is an everyone problem. And again, I think there's a ploy behind all of this. I think there's something behind what's going on, and it's not good. It has to be an invasion of some kind. A lot of these guys that are leaving, they're all men. No matter what country you look at, no matter what country they're defecting from, it's all men of fighting age invading these countries, invading the United States, but then going to places like Canada and, again, skipping Canada and coming here. Which, guys, leads me to, again, I said this before, I'm going to say this again. How are so many migrants leaving from Central America or South America and supposedly walking up to the United States and looking as healthy as they did when they left? Yes, some people argue they're taking trains and taking vehicles, but if you're on the road and you're walking that much, you can't be eating every day. There's no possible way for anyone to feed that many people traveling from Central to South America to the United States border. There is no possible way. Unless, again, this is all being set up. And they are being fed on purpose. They are being driven here by train, bus, and plane on purpose. We're seeing the same tactic everywhere else. With the exception of Africans, it's hard to fucking gauge them. Kaya, thank you for the donation. It's hard to gauge them because they're always fucking skinny. But Maria and Pamplona walking from fucking, I don't know, Ecuador, and supposedly walking all the way from Ecuador here, that doesn't make any sense that they lost no weight. The bitch was as fat as she was in Ecuador. And how come nobody is filming their journey? I hadn't seen one. I saw one video of somebody filming their journey, but no one else is filming their journey. No one else is recording this atrocities. These people are staying. Oh, I'm gonna get up in the morning. I'm gonna leave for America, and then a couple of days later they're here. To walk from Nicaragua to the United States border is a 35-day walk. From Ecuador to the United States border, walking is about 70-something days. 70 plus days, give or take. And these people are not losing any weight. These people are not sick. These people are not emaciated. Somehow they get across the border and they're bouncing on the other side, giving the peace sign and running away from law enforcement at full speed. There's definitely a problem. There's definitely something that the media is not questioning and the media is not reporting because they don't report to us. They report to their masters. And they report what they're told to report. And some of us believe it and some of us don't. Yeah, militant roots. I get that they're riding trains and vehicles and all this other shit. But what about the food situation? Why are so many of them still healthy and fat when they get here? That amount of walking, that amount of traveling stresses the body, regardless. I don't give a fuck who you are. You drop weight just flying around in a plane because you're traveling all the time, because you're switching time zones. And these people, not that they're switching time zones, but these people are traveling a very long distance, plane, train, or automobiles, they're traveling up here and they're not dropping any weight, there's a problem. Lee, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. They have burritos in their pockets. They probably do. They probably have hot pockets. Hot pockets, burritos, and enchiladas in their pockets. And still, even if you ate properly, you still can't maintain that weight. And Adriana says they're not walking. Yeah, but the amount of people that they have on that road, there's no way they're transporting all their people. That's virtually impossible too. That's the other problem. Some of the people are walking, some of the people are not. Even those that are not, why, again, aren't they emaciated? Why aren't their clothes torn and tattered? It's not. They're coming over here with fresh fucking gear. When these people, guys, used to walk across that desert to come to the United States, by the time they got here, they were destroyed. Destroyed. Fucking Border Patrol had to pick them up constantly, bury bodies because they were dead. And these people are coming across with fresh clothes on and a phone. I'm not buying it, man. And they all can't be transported. It's virtually impossible. You would have to have one hell of a convoy, like a constant conveyor belt of vehicles to even move that many people from where they are currently, let's just say Ecuador, Nicaragua, all the way here. It's virtually impossible. Where the fuck were we? All right, let's go. In the past 48 hours, 7,000 people have arrived on my island, an island that has always welcomed and saved in its arms. And this is Mayor Filippo Mannion. He's the mayor of that island. And he says 7,000 people in 48 hours. Now we have reached the point, and keep in mind, guys, that 7,000 people in 48 hours by boat. A boat can only hold so many people. So that's a lot of motherfuckers headed their way. The figure has also confirmed to CNN by the country's interior ministry, the 7,000. Now, here was another thing. Me and the lieutenant at the firehouse, we were having a conversation about the amount of people that the United States is telling us is crossing the border each day. Roughly what's crossing the border each day. And that they report to us by the end of the year how many people came across the border by year's end. The lieutenant made a good point. He goes, if the government is telling us that 9,000 people came across the border, that must mean that's 18,000 people that came across the border, because the United States government is undoubtedly the interesting one. Oops, the U.S. government is undoubtedly downplaying the numbers, right? They can't sit there and tell us, Lieutenant Dan, yeah, Lieutenant Dan, they're not going to sit there and tell us that 9,000 people, 18,000 people showed up. They're going to cut that number in half, or whatever fucking math they use to get whatever bullshit number they make up. But nonetheless, guys, that was an interesting point of view. I was like, you know what? He's right. He's got to be right? Because the government never tells us the truth. And why would they sit there and tell us the real number? What if the number's closer to 20,000 people by the end of 2023? But they told us it was 10,000 people. They're always going to skew the numbers, and I think these countries are doing the same thing. Right now, maybe Italy's not, or this island isn't, because they want a full response. They need help. They're dying for help. So they're sitting there going, fuck, man. They could be adding the numbers too. They could be fucking, cooking the numbers, if you will. But either way, guys, this is bad for everyone involved, because this is undoubtedly going to affect more people with more migrants coming here. If we have vision, thank you for the heads up. Guys, if we have a total collapse, there are certain countries that are not going to be able to feed people because they can't. So it's going to be an issue, guys. And we're going to find out the hard way. Well, a lot of countries are going to find out the hard way. Maybe we will. I know New York City's already starting to feel it. We're already starting to see the amount of migrants that are here and the problems they're causing. And they're causing so many problems right now. I mean, for the first time, interestingly enough, guys, for the first time today, I'm walking down the street and two migrants were begging for money. And I had to figure they were migrants because, one, they were very, very South American looking. And secondly, they said some shit in Spanish about money. And I was like, yo, I said, you're in America now, speak English. And I walked away. Now, was that an asshole thing to say to them? Absolutely. But nonetheless, guys, it's getting worse because they're here in Washington Heights. I thought they kept their bullshit downtown and wherever they were. So apparently there's a migrant shelter around here somewhere, so I'm going to look for it now. But now that they're sitting there begging for money. You know, and the worst part about it is if they would have said it in English, I would have probably gave them $1 or two. Because they had two babies with them. They always get you with that baby shit, too. Because there is an actual live baby in there, you know, cooing and crying and shit. But still, they're here in the Heights now. In Washington fucking Heights begging for money. It's a problem, man. It's a problem. And again, that problem's only going to get worse. I mean, listen, I would have given them $1. If they would have asked in English, because I was also on the move and I was on the phone, but I would have given them $1. I mean, listen, I'm not that bad. I mean, I don't agree with them being here, but if they need $1 or a couple bucks to eat, I'll fucking buy them something to eat, because I know what they're feeding them at the detention center is garbage, you know, and they'll eat Popeyes. I'll feed them American food and American food only. We're not going to go to fucking a Mexican restaurant or some South American restaurant. We're going to go right to fucking McDonald's. Okay, maybe not McDonald's, but maybe Popeyes or some shit. I'll feed them American food. Here's a pizza. You ever had one of these? And you give them a pizza slice. And welcome to America. But anyway, guys, that shit's just going to get worse. It's going to get far out of control. Other countries are having it really bad. Again, like Italy is. France is. France is dealing with it bad right now. There is just a constant problem, and it's just seemingly to be set off by no other than Klaus Schwab and the gang, or George Soros and the gang. You choose. They're trying to set something in motion to get us all fall in line. It could be that. It could be. But anyway, real quick, before we go off the air in about 12 minutes, not real quick, we got some time. The countries that are right now experiencing civil war or some kind of conflict, Afghanistan right now is seeing civil war and terrorist insurgency. They will see that forever. We have Burkina Faso, terrorist insurgency. Colombia, drug war and civil war. And if I'm not mistaken, the drug war or the drug cartels fighting it out with one another. You have DR Congo, I think the Democratic Republic Congo, terrorist insurgency, Ethiopian, civil war, Iraq, terrorist insurgency and political unrest, Mali, civil war, terrorist insurgency, Mexico, drug war, and also political unrest as well, Nigeria, terrorist insurgency, Somalia, civil war, Sudan is seeing ethnic violence. That's South Sudan seeing ethnic violence. Sudan is seeing terrorist insurgency. Syria is seeing civil war, and Yemen is seeing civil war. And I know there's a couple of other countries that are having civil war as well. India is another one. They're having a religious war, I guess, if you want to call it that. They're having other problems there as well. Burkina Faso. Okay, that's what it is. I couldn't see that. Again, glasses. Burkina Faso. Thank you, Militant Roots. Yeah, man, I'm going to have to I don't want to fucking give him the glasses yet, man. England, France, Germany with the farmers. Yes, France, Germany, and England have that farmer situation going on, and I forgot what country it was. They gave in, and they told the farmers that they don't have to abide by any of the restrictions that they were setting on them. I just saw that on Instagram. I really got to save this shit and, screenshot it and save it so when I talk about it later, I can reference back to it, but I can't remember where it was. But they definitely gave in and told the farmers no restrictions, no anything. So that's pretty good. Someone says I see a couple of whiskey comments because of the shirt. I'm like, why are people talking about the whiskey? I'm like, oh, my shirt. I think I'll have some whiskey tonight, maybe. So guys, here's the big question, and a lot of you guys can answer yes or no. Is this chaos being created as a giant distraction, or is it part of a giant distraction, right? And if it's a part of the giant distraction, do you also think it's part of the plan? But yes, no, if you think this is a giant distraction. Or it's just something the world is dealing with. But again, everywhere is dealing with it. Falafels are good. Falafels are good. I'm not a big fan of falafels. Well, wait. Gyros I am, not falafels. I'm not a big fan of falafels. Whiskey before beer. Never fear. Yeah, whiskey's always better. Also, guys, if you don't mind doing me the favor, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. It just helps out with the algorithm and the bullshit. I do appreciate it as always. Yes, yes, yes. Yes and yes. WEF running the world. Yes, they are. Bread and circus? Is that a thing? Bread and circuses. I don't think I ever lost the thumbs down. I know someone said that before about the thumbs down being gone, but on my iPad it's always been there. So I don't know. Either way, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, guys, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Cheesy pancakes. Seriously, man. I'm going to tell you. If I ever meet a chef that says, oh, cheesy pancake, anybody that says cheesy pancakes good, I'm throwing them off a fucking cliff. Because cheesy pancakes are fucking disgusting. It's the world's worst fucking food. Who thought of that? What drunk asshole was walking down the street, said, oh man, I'm in the mood for pizza. I mean, pancakes. Let me have some pancakes 4 o'clock in the morning. And then decided to pour cheese on it. They should have shot him where he stood. They should have took him out back, beat him with a rubber hose, and threw him in the dumpster. Just for that move alone. Cheese does not belong on fucking pancakes. It doesn't. It doesn't belong on waffles. It doesn't belong on French toast. That is fucking horrendous, cheese and pancake. That was the shit out there. Cheese and pancake. And then you don't even tell the people that you show a picture of fucking pancakes with syrup on it. And then you come out from behind the kitchen with fucking pancakes and cheese all over it. Should have gotten beaten within an inch of their life. I'm like, motherfucker, have you ever in your life seen anybody put cheese on pancake? But apparently it's a thing out there. It's a thing out there. Yeah, Nick, I had White Castles today. That was like a deadly mistake. That was fast. Fucking try to write too fast and you write like you sound like an idiot when you write sometimes. Text. But yeah, guys, the cheesy pancake shit, that's bullshit. Fuck that. What about apple pie? What about apple pie? Don't fucking put cheese on. Don't put cheese on anything that doesn't have it. Don't put cheese on apple pie. Don't put cheese on anything sweet. Don't put cheese on cheesecake. Don't. There should be a law against this shit. Well, as far as making up laws for migrants and shit, there should be a law, no cheese on pancakes. Because if you do, you will see the death penalty right away. You want to put cheese on Spam, fine, that's probably disgusting as fuck. Put cheese on a cheeseburger, put cheese on your pizza, fine. Put cheese on anything breakfasty, you shall be beaten within an inch of your life with a rubber hose in 30 below degrees cold. Because that's what they're on. Fucking cheese on pan. What kind of psycho shit is that? That's like some psych patient shit. That's not even pregnancy food. That's like psychological damaged people going, oh, I always wanted to put cheese on pancakes. Fucking assholes. Cheddar and apple pie. No, that's disgusting. Nope. Waffle, chicken and waffle and cheese. Yo. Just fucking Kaiser Soze's entire family. If someone said that. Chicken, waffle, and cheese. That is fucking disgusting. Cheese omelet is one thing. Cheese on a sausage biscuit. Alright, fine. Cheese and eggs is the bomb. Not really, but okay, that's still acceptable. Cheese business. Cheesy eggs are delicious. I don't like cheesy eggs. Corned beef hash. That's the shit, corned beef hash. Cheese on scrambled egg is good. Nah, I mean, again, a lot of people like it. But again, cheese on eggs is a lot better than cheese on pancake. And it looked like that Velveeta cheese, too. I don't even know they sell Velveeta out there. Nonetheless, it was like a Velveeta pour-style cheese. It poured on it. We had to get the waiter back. Like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, oh, he's like, this is how it comes. I'm like, but you didn't say anything about cheese on pancake. He's like, we don't do that in America. And the look he shot me was like, you're not in America, fucko. You're in Greece. I was like, whatever. Still, guys, should have fucking threw the waiter in the fucking water for that fucking move. Cheese on the chair. Yeah, whatever. Scrapple. I never had Scrapple. Never had Scrapple. Don't think I'll ever will. Doesn't sound appealing. Waffle and cocaine. That might go good together. Cheese and cocaine? No. Not at all. Ketchup on spaghetti, you should... That's another one you should be shot in the back of the head for. Ketchup on spaghetti? Fucking Italians around the world are fucking grinding their teeth right now just thinking about ketchup on spaghetti. Pancake is a dessert in my book. Cheese makes it an entree. Cheese doesn't make it an entree. Cheese makes it an illegal act. An illegal act of debauchery. Because who does that? That is disgusting. Cottage cheese pancake? Seriously, you can keep that shit to yourself. Scrapple is awesome. Scrapple is good. Scrapple is... I love Scrapple. Never had Scrapple. Spider-Man said mayonnaise on spaghetti is good. You're a psych patient. Ozark Prepper. Yes, Pepsi and milk. That's my shit. I haven't had that in a while. I was actually thinking about doing it, but I don't have regular milk here. Jeanette, I think Finland was a part of that. I thought they were part of that. They were one of the countries that got the restrictions lifted on them. Cheese is melted. Cheese on Spam. You want to put cheese on Spam? Fine. But seriously, on fucking pancakes? Peanut butter, mayonnaise, and tomato sandwich. Now he's just making shit up. There's no possible way humans eating peanut butter, mayonnaise, and tomato sandwich. You gotta try it, Scrapple. I wouldn't know where to have it. Peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich. Flabby. Your arms look less flabby or flabby? Flabby is Flabby. Flabby. I didn't think my arms were ever that flabby. But then I guess they were at one point. I don't know. Whatever. Bread, butter, pickle are fantastic. All right, fine. Stout. Shit hits the fan. No one's going to have cheese pancakes. I'm sorry. That's the least of anybody's problems. Let me fucking do it up. Let me do up the end of the world meal with cheese pancakes. You're not eating that shit. No way. Peanut butter honey sandwiches. Maryland Scrapple. I have had Scrapple. Do they? All right, whatever. I'll entertain it once, man. Just once. Like grits. We made grits at the firehouse once, and I didn't like it. And everybody else did. Adrian is asking, what is Scrapple? What is Scrapple exactly? And we're going to go off the air in about 30 seconds. PA item Scrapple. No shit. Crapple is gross. Nice. Crapple is gross. All right, guys. So we're going to go off the air now. We're going to head right over to the Angry Truth channel. We're going to keep that about 15 minutes or so. And then we're going to go off the air. I don't like grits either. Yeah, grits, I wasn't a big fan of it. Anyway, guys, that being said, thank you for dealing with my bullshit. Thank you for watching. Cheesy grits is the shit. All right, Johnny308. And other than that, guys, I'll see some of you guys over at the Angry Truth. Good night. Raw ginger for cold. Scrapple is great.